So you want to get involved in water distribution system modeling. Well, where do you get started? This looks like a very overwhelming kind of task. So you have to start somewhere. So let's go over what you need to do to get started in modeling. Okay, the first thing to do is to get a program, a computer program to solve the hydraulic equations. Next step along the path is to learn how to use it. The next step is to get the data. So we're going to focus on the first two of those in this talk. The next talk we'll talk about data. But now we're going to talk about getting the program and learning how to use the program. If you've come this far, you're already involved, I'm sure, to some extent in obtaining the software. And as you know, the Bentley products, just to go over them briefly, are WaterCAD, which is our basic level water distribution model. WaterGEMS, our more advanced full-feature modeling package. And Hammer, our tool for solving hydraulic transients. Beyond that, we have some other tools that are auxiliary to the models that are extra add-on tools, such as SCADA Connect, which enables you to connect to SCADA systems and bring that data into the hydraulic modeling packages, and also our Darwin package of solvers, which are genetic algorithm programs to help you optimize calibration, optimize design, optimize pump scheduling. Of course, before you get into the Darwins and the SCADA Connect, you really need to learn the basics, which are WaterCAD and WaterGEMS. Okay, which one do you need is one of the questions we often get. The basic stuff that you can buy is WaterCAD. That's the basic product. It's available as a standalone program. You just buy WaterCAD and away you go and run it. And you get some extra add-on packages like Load Builder, Terrain Extraction, Model Builder, which helps you build models. So even with the basic WaterCAD package, you get quite a few extra tools. You also get to run the WaterCAD program on other platforms, particularly the MicroStation platform you get for no additional cost. When we talk about platforms, what we're talking about is the fact that you can run WaterCAD from within MicroStation. So you start MicroStation and have the MicroStation drafting tools available. So we have already our existing standalone modeling and drawing tools, but you also add MicroStation tools and run the program within MicroStation. Now, in addition to that, some people like to run the program within AutoCAD. So for small extra cost, you can move up to the AutoCAD platform where you can run WaterGEMS from within AutoCAD. So those of you that are very good at AutoCAD and want to use the drafting functions from AutoCAD can run it that way. And with WaterCAD, of course, the Darwins and the Scalabrator and some of those extra tools are extra. If you want to just buy one product and have everything, what you would buy is WaterGEMS, which contains all these other platforms, the MicroStation, AutoCAD, standalone, but also you can run the model within ArcGIS. So for those of you that are very GIS expert, you can get the program to run within ArcGIS, so you can use ArcGIS functionality to run the WaterGEMS program. So those are the products. So you'll be talking mostly about buying either WaterCAD or WaterGEMS. How do you get those? Well, you go to the Select site. Once you have the licensing straightened out, you would go to the Select site on our website, and you would just go to the Select Services area and download the software. We pretty much have a step-by-step process to walk you through the downloads. If you want, you could have a CD mailed to you, but it's a lot easier, I've found, to just have the software downloaded over the internet to your computer, and away you go to run it. The Select Services site is a place where you'll go for a lot of things. We'll talk about some of these other support tools a little later. This is kind of the place on the web within the Bentley overall website that you go to get software. But once you get the software, you need some training. Learning water distribution modeling is not like picking up a video game. You need to have some technical training in order to be able to make the most of it. Well, you can just get in there and use a hunt and peck method where you gradually learn modeling by making mistakes and trying things over and over again until you get it down pat. That's kind of not the most efficient or effective way in order to learn modeling. Well, first of all, you have help as well. So if you are just teaching yourself modeling, learning it by going through the help menus is not a terrible thing to do. We'll show you about getting into help. We also provide you with lesson files. So you have lessons you can download and walk yourself through the lessons from right within the software. Beyond that, you move into the training provided by the Bentley Institute, where you could learn the software in person. You can get online and take online training courses over the internet, or you can download on demand, essentially canned training lectures and workshops. In addition to that, we have a lot of other resources such as Beat Community, tech support, and reference books, and we'll go over these in a little bit of detail as we get further along. Okay, the help itself you get to within WaterCAD and WaterGems, just going to the top menu and clicking on Help, WaterGems Help, and you get this type of screen like a typical help menu where you could search based on the table of contents through an index, or I just like to usually use the search feature. Just type in the word and it'll tell you where that word shows up in help, and you can find the appropriate help for that particular problem. Also, we provide quick start lessons, but these are basically step-by-step procedures you go through to learn a given feature within the software. So whether it's looking at automated fire flow or water quality analysis, you can bring up a model and we step you through this one by one in these quick start lessons. And these are available with the software. There's no extra additional installation or anything to run these. To really get serious in the training, though, you go to the Bentley Institute, and the link at the top there is basically where you go to get the water training courses. The path you take is go to Training and Learning, where that green arrow is pointing, and you just step through those menus to get to the water distribution or sewer or stormwater training packages. What we provide, though, is not just a single course, but rather we provide you a whole learning path so that you can break the training down into individual steps, starting out with modeling basics and adding on different tools. Whether you're a model building type person or model application person, you can learn one step at a time, and we take you through them in a logical order. We don't have you start off on day one and take the most advanced lecture, because the lectures tend to build on top of one another. So we lead you through this thing on a logical path, yet not setting you off learning stuff that you really don't need. So a lot of the sequence and a lot of the other stuff is either or. And we lead you through this learning path to get you up to full speed on the things that you need as quick as possible. We have a lot of ways we deliver training. We have open enrollment courses that anybody can sign up for and take at various locations. We come on site to your location and put on a training course. Online courses which are taught by our instructors. This is real-time instruction online, though, rather than having to do travel. You do the workshops online. We have on-demand training. With on-demand training, you download existing canned lectures and canned workshops, and you work through them at your own pace on your own time. We also have the Be Together Conference, which is an annual conference where we put on several training workshops during the Be Together Conference. And of course, you have this video series that you're listening to right at the moment. Another resource you have is Be Communities. This is essentially our community of people who are doing work with the Bentley products, and we have a specific area in there on hydrology and hydraulics. So you get into this Be community, you can ask questions, you can answer questions, and just talk with people who are doing work along the same lines that you're doing. The URL for the site is up there on the top of the page. You go to the Bentley website, though, and you can follow it pretty easy to get to the Be community. Then what about support? What about services? Well, here we're back to the Select Services page again, and there's a lot of ways you can get help. Once you have the software installed and you're up and running, you can also just contact us and ask us questions. There's a variety of ways to do it. The most formal way is a service ticket. There you can put together your program that you may be having questions or problems with and send it in to our tech support people who do a great job in answering your questions and pointing you in the right direction. You can also get involved with live chat, or you can get on the phone and talk to the tech support people on the phone. Another great tool we have is the knowledge base. This is essentially a collection of topics that have been developed by our tech support people. They've had to answer certain questions a lot of times, so they'll write a knowledge-based topic to explain how you can do it and lead you through there step by step. So there's a lot of ways to get help from Bentley, and to get help from humans who are available 24/7, which is not always the case with other software. And then there are our reference books. Our main textbook on water distribution is Advanced Water Distribution Modeling and Management, which is the premier book in the field as far as learning how to do hydraulic analysis of water distribution systems. We also have a textbook. This is more the college level textbook, which covers more than just water distribution, but also gets into wastewater collection, stormwater type issues. And then we do some other specialized book. A book we came out with recently is a book on water loss reduction, where we collected some of the world's leading experts in water loss reduction and had them put together a book which is probably the best reference in that subject nowadays. So there's a lot of ways for you to get started with modeling, from getting the software and going through training in a whole variety of ways, so that you can make the learning of the software and getting up to full speed as a modeler as painless as possible. Okay, thank you.